I'm a biker, true and proud, ride an iron horse that's free and wild. A biker, true and proud, admitting I'm scared is not allowed. I may not look so mean and tough, but let me tell you, sir, I'm no powder puff. What it takes to ride, well, I got the stuff. I got what it takes to ride. Got what it takes to ride. Got what it takes to ride. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to It's Never Too Late, where we believe it's never too late to follow your dreams, to have some fun, or to start something new. How are you tonight?
Hey, I'm terrific.
Oh,
How are you doing?
we're going to
Hey.
have Rodney tonight. I can see that coming. You know, I've learned a lot about
He's a
my...
guest star, ain't he? I tell you, every once in a while he'll pop in over here and say, "Hey, what are you doing?" You know what? No, we'll tell you later.
Oh, gee. You know what? You know the book, Sam I Am?
Who am I?
Ham I Am. That's
Oh,
what I'm
yeah,
learning about
yeah.
my husband in this. When we were at the studio a couple of weeks ago, he's taking the mic and he's like moving it closer to
I
him.
did
You
not.
did too. You did
Ask
too.
some people who watch that.
And tonight he's like moving my chair. So I'm like over here. I'm like, hello. Yeah, he's become a real ham.
Well, who wants to see you over there?
Oh.
Hey, they want to see me over here.
Okay,
Huh?
there you go. There you go. There you go.
Doesn't that better? I got all the space to
Oh.
myself. Get over here.
Told you, he's a ham. He's a ham. Last week, do you remember what we were talking about last week?
Last week we talked about our trip to Florida.
Yeah, we went to Florida because we were asked to come down and do some benefit performances. And we were in the middle of telling you about that. So we figured we'd finish that up before we start on our new topic tonight. So what we did was was a Greece benefit. It was held at Heritage Park. And there we are. We were in charge of bringing all the leather jackets because we drove. It was too cold to take our bikes. It was snowy and icy up here. So we drove. So everybody needed leather jackets and they flew. So we brought down all the leather jackets, which we've collected over the years.
Yeah.
And then we got to perform at Heritage Park.
Well, wait a minute. What about the car that we took the picture with the car? The convertible.
Oh, yeah. In that car. We'll go back to that picture if we can. If we can go back to that picture and see the car because our friend.
You can't really see the car.
No, you can't really because of the sign. But it was this really cool. Was it a Camaro?
Camaro.
It was a
convertible
Camaro, and it was a convertible. So we took lots of pictures by the car. One of our Mike. Tyler Gianchetto's dad rented that car. He couldn't wait to get this convertible Camaro, and we were like taking pictures like crazy in that car. But
we used the car.
But the thing was, he used it for 4 people, and the trunk was this big. So I was like, "How did you get all the suitcases?" And luckily he brought rope, and he actually tied all the suitcases to the back of the car. And people kept honking and stopping. You've got your trunk is open. But we had good use out of that car. It was a lot of fun.
So that was Saturday night. We were doing this Greece benefit. They had a car show there. The firemen and the police had a sing-off. They had a big competition. Then we got up on stage a little bit.
Well, I want to tell them a little bit about the police and the firemen because the guys in both groups would have this blonde wig and they put on a dress.
Oh, yeah.
And they would do the duets from Greece. And it was hysterical. And both sides did such a great job. If I were a judge, I couldn't have decided because they were so much fun. They were all into it and they did a great job. I think, did the firemen win? I don't remember.
I think they called it a draw.
Yeah, I think.
No, there was one woman and one guy that won, right?
Yeah.
I think they split it that way.
But it was really cool to watch. And then some of us got to get up and entertain, and we were all asked to sing a song from Greece as well. So this is a little piece of me doing one of my own songs called "She's Too Busy Riding." This is one of my originals. It's just a little clip from when we were there.
He said, she's too busy riding to take time to keep it clean. While you're so busy shining yours, she's riding a machine. While you're cruising bars and showing off the highways where she's seen. She's too busy riding to ever keep her clean.
I tell you, she's all right, huh?
Not bad for an old broad, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Not gonna go there. So I got to do that, but he was my opening act, and he did a little bit of.
Hey, my friend Rodney. Oh, he's back. Hey, all right. My wife and I, we don't have sex anymore. We get undressed. We can't stop laughing.
Oh.
I'll tell you, my dog comes into the room. so he can learn how to beg. Last week, he showed my wife how to roll over and play dead.
Oh,
My dog is another one. We call him Egypt. He leaves a pyramid in every room.
Does that make me Cleopatra?
Yes, absolutely.
Are you done?
Yeah, that's good for now.
That's good for now. Okay. Just call me Cleo. So we did that benefit. And then we had another benefit called Let It Shine. And all of these went towards local charities in the Tampa area. Our producer, Steve Vaccaro, who's the second there on the left, he arranged for all this. One of the people in the Chapters Rep Network lives down there in the area. And so they brought us down. Way on the left there is Ashley Blum. She is Ms. Role Model. She lives up here, and she has her own show called Teen Talk, and Tyler Gianchetta with Rachel Barcelona, they have one called Youth Heroes. And if you look in the middle there, fourth from the left is National American Miss, and her name is Mariana Lynn. What an amazing 12-year-old. She is so well-spoken, and she is going to have a new show on the Chapters Rep Network. So we're officially welcoming her, and I can't wait to see her show. She's going to amaze you. Some of the kids we have on our shows are just beyond their years, and she's going to do a great job. So we're looking forward to seeing her up here. So that was kind of most of what we did. We did the radio shows and we did the benefits, and we had a really good time down there. We thank Steve Vaccaro for arranging all those benefits for us while we were there. And then we called up home and we said, hi, what's the weather like in the Mohawk Valley? And they went, it's still snow and ice. I said, we're taking our time going home.
Let's stop and see some friends on the way.
We visited everybody we know on the way home. We kept calling, how's the weather now? So, so one of the friends we stopped to see was Dottie and Mike in South Carolina. We've talked about them before. The great friends. We stayed with them. And Dottie and Mike took us. He works at this RV park. And they have this activity room. And they have miniature bowling. It's like duck pins. And I haven't played that some kid. I don't know if any of you remember duck pins. You said this is mini bowling.
It's mini bowling.
Okay,
yeah.
it's a
the
little.
Duck pins, I believe, is straight sticks, basically.
Okay.
These are actually shaped just like bowling pins, and they're smaller. And as you can see, you can palm the ball, so it's not a regular size bowling ball. It's all miniaturized.
And it's much easier. I actually played lefty, and there's Dottie and Mike in the background, and we had a blast playing this miniature. They used to have it. I don't know if it was in Massapequa. I grew up in Massapequa Park, and they used to have duck pins somewhere in our area because I used to play as a kid. But I
think it was at Jolly Rogers.
It could have been at Jolly
so.
Rogers,
On Hempstead Turnpike.
On Hempstead Turnpike, yeah, it could have been. So anyway, it was really cool to play that again. And it was rainy and cold. So it was a good thing to do indoors that day. And we stayed there a couple of days. And then we went and we visited our friends Spider and Grace in Virginia. And they just moved down there from Long Island a few years ago. And there's the lovely Grace who has...
That's how they looked when we got there. They knew we were coming, so they dressed up. And we really appreciated that since we were in driving clothes.
Yeah, they look great. Yes, that's how they greeted us at the door. Yes.
Actually, Grace knew we were coming, and she didn't tell Spider, which his name is really John.
Yeah,
but
we call him Spider.
He's got the long legs. He told us a whole story of how we got the name. But anyway, so when we pulled up in the driveway, he was quite surprised.
What the heck are you doing here? I was like, we just.
He told us a little story. He goes, when people show up here, we usually ask them, when are you leaving? But they ask us how long we're staying.
Yeah.
And your room is ready.
Your room's always ready. Hey, Grace, we're coming to visit. Your room's ready.
So we stayed a couple extra days to help them clear around the pond. Because I knew their neighbors were coming over. We were going to leave on Friday, but we ended up leaving on Sunday just so we can help them.
So they have this huge pond, and the neighbors like to fish in it. And there was, overgrown the way that happens with ponds. So the neighbors said, come on, we'll all get together and we'll help clean around it. It'll make our fishing easier. So we were there, and they figured, oh, good, another 2 sets of hands. So we're helping to clear away. And as we're doing it, somebody says, look, in the tree, there's a flying squirrel. And I'm like, flying squirrel. So we look up there, and if you can make him out sitting on the branch with those eyes and the ears, he looked like a bat to me. Kind of looked like a bat, and we're looking at it, and all these chainsaws.
I was the first one to identify it as a flying squirrel because I saw the line going from the front leg to the back leg, which is really, they don't really fly. What they do is glide.
Yeah, so we scared him and he ran way up to the top of the tree. We didn't want to hurt him. They couldn't take down the tree while he was in it. And all of a sudden, right over my head from the top of the tree, he glided right over my head to where his nest was in the other tree. It was really something to see right over my head.
That was very cool. I mean, I've seen them on TV and they, these nature channels and all that.
I've
but
only seen
to
Rocky.
see one live was very, very cool.
No, Rocky and Bullwinkle. That's the only flying squirrel
Oh,
I
that
ever
was
saw.
a
Well, it's cartoon.
cartoon.
I like Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Oh, I'm talking about nature shows, the real
The real
flying
thing.
squirrel.
I wasn't even sure if those were real
I'll
flying
tell you,
squirrels.
it ain't easy being me. Oh,
He gets no
does he
respect.
come back
I
again?
give him no. I don't know. Does he have more to do?
Yeah, he could.
He could. All right. Well, anyway, we were going to talk about Long Island, and I'm going to talk about my happy place on Long Island. The thing I love about Long Island, I have to say, the one thing that I miss being up here in the Mohawk Valley is I grew up going to the ocean beaches. We're from the South Shore, and you go 20 minutes and you're at the beach, and it's the ocean waves. And so I took this video one day when I was there, this little video of the ocean. Oh, I love
Makes you
that
feel good just to look at it, huh?
sound. I love that sound. And I would just go down to the beach, take my motorcycle, have my little pass on the windshield, and I go there and with a blanket, with a towel, and I just lie there, and that is my happy place. That was a rather calm day that day, and I grew up riding those waves at Jones Beach. Everybody knows Jones Beach, right? I've been going there since I'm a kid. As a matter of fact, I found a picture of my mom and me. It was my 30th birthday, and I was by myself, and my mom called me. She says, "Come on, I'm going to take you to your favorite place." And there I am. Look at the hair. And we went to Field 6 where the boardwalk is. My birthday's in May, and it can be a little chilly at the beach in May at Jones Beach. But my mom bought me some little earrings in the gift shop there, which was open, and we walked the beach. And that's just a special memory for me, my mom taking me there on my 30th birthday. And look at the hair. Yeah, I have black curly hair is my natural color. We're not going to talk about what my natural color is now.
No.
It's not
We'll
black
leave that
anymore.
one alone.
Leave that one alone.
Yeah.
But I love that picture of
I
me
get
and
in
Mom.
enough trouble.
I think I still have that sweater coat that she's wearing with the hood. I think I still
Wouldn't
have it.
surprise me.
Yeah, I'm like very sentimental when it comes to stuff like that. So that's my happy place at the beach. He's not as much of a beach person as I am.
I'd rather be on a boat fishing.
Yeah, that's what he likes to do. But we did take a boat. Well, we've done it by motorcycle to see the air show on Memorial Day weekend.
Oh, yes,
Oh, the Blue
air show.
Angels, and the Canadian Thunderbirds, is it?
No.
The Canadian
Canadians.
Flyers.
We
Yeah,
just call them the
Canadian
Canadians.
Flyers. And they put on an air show, and they'll have like a B-17 flying next to a biplane and a jet, and they'll have all three of them
Oh, they
flying
got the,
together. It's really wild to see. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
look at that. The prop plane on top. Then the one on the bottom, I think that we got
I think it was two jets
the
and
new Phantom or something on
I
the
don't
bottom.
know, but they'll have like
And
three.
the F-17 in the middle, or 16.
Yeah, like three
Yeah.
generations of jets, and they'll fly at the same speed going. It's amazing to watch. And the last time we did it, we went on a friend's boat, and we go to Zach's Bay. And
I took that picture.
He did. He took that picture. Yes, he did. I give credit where credit.
And that one.
And that one. Did you take that one too?
Yep.
Okay.
See, that plane that's flying overhead is the scout plane for the Blue Angels.
Oh,
They
is
have to
that
make
what it
sure the
is?
airspace is clear and everything's
Oh.
copacetic.
The Blue Angels are absolutely amazing to watch. I'll never forget one time we took our motorcycles to the tower, the Jones Beach Tower, right at the end of Wanto Parkway. And there was a little area that was empty, and the police were very nice and let us stay there. And a couple of more motorcycles came, and we were watching it from there. And they announced the Blue Angels were coming. So we're looking at the ocean because they always do it right over the beach. And we're waiting and waiting and waiting, and we don't see them. And all of a sudden, jumped out of my skin, they came from behind us.
With the afterburners going and everything.
And you couldn't hear them coming up on you. And all of a sudden, they're on top of you, and now you hear the jets. And I leaped out of my skin. It was the most amazing thing. We started to laugh, but they put on some show, the way they go up and down and around and cross each other, and they're amazing.
So we were right on
Flyers.
Ocean Parkway, and I think that's when Jerry was still driving a bus.
Oh, yeah.
A friend of mine. All of a sudden, the bus is going by. Next thing, he's honking his horn and he's waving. I said, "Who's? Oh, that's got to be Jerry."
Yeah, he's watching
Yeah,
going back
he was
and
on the
forth.
bus run.
And he saw us there. And the cool thing about being on the South Shore is for a few days before Memorial Day weekend, you can watch them practicing. You can either go down to the beach or right from where you live, you just look up and you can hear them and you watch them going back and forth. I think to Republic and Amityville,
Republic
right?
Airport. A lot of
That's-
people go to the Home Depot right next to there.
Yeah,
and
or
watch
watch
take
them take off right from Republic.
land.
So it's very, very cool thing. That's one of the things I love to do on Long Island. And they do have at Jones Beach. Jones Beach is great. Jones Beach has a light show at Christmas time. And you
No,
drive
right,
through
you
in
drive
your
through,
car.
right.
And then at the end of it, they have like food and things for the kids and Santa Claus. And that's a very cool thing too to do. And then let's not forget the Fire Island Lighthouse. The Fire Island Lighthouse, and we went there. We took our motorcycles there. It was cold because we were all bundled
I
up.
think that was in January.
I think it was January. As long as there's no
Yeah.
snow and ice, you can't do that up here in the Mohawk Valley. But
No,
on
not
Long
January.
Island, if there's no snow and the roads are dry, you get to ride. So we rode there one time in the winter, and that's very cool. But I don't think in the winter you can go up in.
No,
You can't
no.
go up in the lighthouse. I don't know. You notice that we like lighthouses. We tend to visit lighthouses. I just think they're the coolest thing. And sometimes the houses that are attached to them, where the lightkeeper would stay, are fabulous, beautiful with fireplaces.
Well, they
and
usually
all.
have gift shops there as well.
Yeah, yeah. So all right, so that's another thing. Fire Island Lighthouse. That's at Field 5 at Robert
Five at
Moses.
Fire Island. Yeah,
Five-
Robert Moses.
Robert
yeah.
Moses, Field 5. And then, of course, you've got in between the South Shore and the ocean, you've got the Great South Bay. And that's where he gets to do his fishing. You take a boat out there. We used to take a boat over to the Tobay Beach, the Bayside. And there's my man fishing. And when I was a
See how
kid.
fat I am? I told you I was fat.
Oh, I
Yeah,
think you're rather
look at that.
handsome.
Well,
Nobody calls my husband fat. You better watch it.
yeah, easy over there. Huh?
And
The
we
truth hurts, huh?
we had the last time we were out there, we had a little it was a raft with a motor on it, and we took that out. We had the best time fishing, and when we were kids, you'd got flounder and blowfish.
Yep.
Everything was flounder and blowfish. Now you can't find a flounder in the Great South Bay.
You can still find it.
Yeah, I haven't
It's
seen
a short
flounder.
season now, though. And, when you
Fluke.
get older, you don't want to go out there when it's that cold. So
Yeah,
you go for summer flounder, which is fluke.
fluke. Well, it's a
Same
different-
thing.
Yeah, it's not. And then it has to be a certain size. But we'll go fishing there and clamming. You can go clamming there. And no,
Well, I
actually,
don't know.
not
It depends
supposed to
on
go
the year.
clamming. Not supposed to go clamming. But the Great South Bay is where we grew up, and a lot of my friends had boats, so we were always out on the Great South Bay. We probably passed each other growing up.
Yeah,
We didn't even know
probably.
it, right? So,
I guess we should have kept going.
oh,
Then I stopped in Freeport, another boating place.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's where we met, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
We
So
told
boats are
them that
good.
already. Let's tell them a
We
new
told them that
story.
new story. Okay, other thing I like to do is the wineries. We went on our fifth date, something like that. We were only dating a couple of weeks, and we went up to the wineries, and it was I think it was Baiting Hollow Farm Vineyard, and they had a gazebo there, and they had just opened up, and they had music playing in the gazebo, and it was a beautiful day, except it started to drizzle on the way there. Do you remember? Oh, I don't know if you're going to
I
remember.
remember the
that.
story that they told us from September prior to that. Lady got really upset. They were getting all set up to have a big event, with a band and everything.
Oh.
And she looked out in the field, and all these birds were laying down.
was
I was
a-
like, they looked like
It
they were
was a
dead.
South Shore winery. Yes.
Yeah, they were all over the place. So she started to panic. All these people are coming, and they had reservations, and the band was coming, the whole bit. So she starts to tell the owner, and they're getting help, and they go check out what's going on. And the birds were gone. Well, what happened was it was harvest season. So the grapes that fell on the ground.
They had just gotten the automatic harvesters.
Yeah.
They weren't handpicked that year.
Oh, right.
That's
right.
why. So a lot of them dropped on the ground and got smushed.
And what happens then is yeast is in the air. So they started to ferment. So the birds came by, they started eating the grapes. That happens over here with my deer too. They eat the apples after they start rotting and they get really sweet. Sugar content's real high.
And they get a high.
Yep. So the birds got drunk.
And they passed
They lay
out.
down, they passed out, and they looked like
passed
they were
out in the
dead.
vineyard. I
They
think-
got over it. When the lady came back, they were all gone. So
Yeah,
that they went on?
it was one. I think it was South Fork. It was one of the South Fork wineries, and they tell that story, and they thought they were dead birds, and it was just because the automatic things dropped grapes, and the birds got drunk. So I think that's a pretty funny story. But that didn't happen when we went. When we went, we just ate in I think about 6 weeks. And we're on the motorcycle, and it starts to drizzle a little bit. And he looks back. I was riding on the back then. He goes, "You were scared?" I go, "Why should I be? Is it okay?" And he's like, "Okay." So we go there, and I started singing in his ear, "Here Comes the Sun." So that became our song. Here comes the sun. And we get there, and the sun did come out.
Yep. And that's why you have your own bike now too.
Why?
It's because I can play the radio on mine, and
Oh, you don't have to
sing in
hear
my
me
ear.
singing. Yeah.
See, my ear's still in good shape.
Oh,
you know?
stop. So we get, okay, I'm going to tell you the story. We get to the winery, and they have, like, you can order like cheese and crackers and things like that and wine. And we said, all right, we'll try this wine. You try this one, I'll try this one. He gets like a little platter. So he's standing there. Here we are in our biker gear, and he's standing there like he's the maitre d' at the Ritz, and he's smelling the wine, and he's, "Oh, darling," and he's speaking in this British accent. It was so, and he's
This is delightful.
What
What are you doing, darling?
And I looked at this guy that I started to date because we were just having a lot of fun together and a lot of laughs. And I looked at him and went, "Oh my gosh, I think I'd fallen in love with him." And that was the moment I realized it.
I still make a laugh.
He does. And I'm thinking, I'm just going to date this guy because he makes me laugh. He's a lot of fun. I'm like, oh no, I'm falling in love with him. He's a biker. Oh no, what am I going to do? So it worked out okay.
You know what they say about those bikers?
Oh, I know.
Yeah, it's the only ones you can really trust.
Ah.
Oh, we say what we do. We mean what we
You
say.
and that's it.
Who else does that?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you know where you stand with him. That's for sure. When he's mad at you, you know it. You don't have to ask, "Honey, are you mad at me?" Oh, you'll know
I
it.
don't get mad.
Don't have to.
I get even.
No, he gets mad. I've seen him get mad. It's scary. You don't want to be around him. And one of the other things I forgot to mention is the farms at harvest time. You can go to the farms. One of my favorite ones, it gets a little crowded on the North Shore. You kind of have to go early in the morning. They have one called the Garden of Eve, and it's all organic, and they have music playing, and they have corn mazes and all these things for the kids, and they have food. They have
Long Island's got some of the best corn too.
Corn. They roast the corn with lots of butter, and they make brownies, and they have the fresh raspberries and all this. Oh my gosh, it's so much fun at harvest season to go to the farms on Long Island. You got to go way out east. It's worth.
And that place that makes the pies.
Oh, Briarmere's.
Briarmere's.
You can't ride, but this place is just past Briarmere's. You can't ride past that place without smelling all the pies.
If you're on Long Island and you go to Briarmere's, don't tell anyone you're going, because you're gonna have to bring back a dozen pies with you.
Everybody wants a Briarmere's pie.
Everybody knows Briarmere's.
Oh yeah, my gosh, and they really are good. They really kind of taste like homemade. So all right, so those were food always is on
you gotta eat.
the top things, right, that you got to do. Now, one thing that's there that everybody knows about, but how many people have actually gone to the Cradle of Aviation Museum in Garden City? That's where Charles Lindbergh, Roosevelt Field is the field that he took off on in I think it was the 20s, when he became the first man to go cross country on across the Atlantic. In an airplane, and that's the field. And then they turned it into a shopping mall, but that's how it got its name.
I think it was Lindbergh Field at one point.
And they call it Lindbergh Field, and it's Charles Lindbergh Boulevard and all. And you go to this Cradle of Aviation Museum. They have so many cool things besides learning all the history of all these planes, and they have them there on the outside and they have them on the inside. There's some that you can sit in. So if you look, they have the World War II planes. They also there's the Spirit of St. Louis, and that was
that's a replica,
an exact
full-size replica. Yeah.
Of what Charles Lindbergh flew. And they had one on the ground that you could actually go into to see how tiny it was. I'm short, and I was tight in there. So I don't know how the very tall Charles Lindbergh did it. That's not it. That's a different plane. You can
That's a jet cockpit.
That's a jet. Yeah, you can actually sit in them. And there was one it was like a fighter plane, and it's very hands-on. A lot of it, you can touch it and feel it and sit in it and get the feel of it and the whole history. And they have the time capsule, the space capsule from the lunar landing. Who remembers 1969? in July, I forget the exact date, 1969. There it is. That was the original space capsule.
Splashed down in the Pacific Ocean. It had 3 parachutes,
Yeah.
just like that orange and white one behind
Neil
it.
Armstrong, Collins, and Buzz and Aldrin, right?
Yep.
Buzz Collins, Neil, and Aldrin, and watching that on TV and watching them land on the moon, and then to go and see that and see how small it is for 3 men to be in that. We went to
Well, we were in Cape Canaveral too. We
Titusville.
actually sat in another replica of the space capsule, and it is tight. You gotta, you kind of almost have to lay down with your knees above your head. It's pretty tight.
It's amazing what they went through. And these guys, they knew they had a 50-50 chance of making it to the moon and back.
And that's another place you should go, Cape
The
Canaveral.
moon? Oh.
Well, yeah, you're going
the
to
moon,
you're going
Alice.
to the moon. I'll tell you.
Yes, go to NASA. If you're ever near Titusville, Cocoa Beach in Florida, we went there. That was an amazing.
They have the simulator for the space shuttle, which was designed by the astronauts.
to give you the feel of what it would be like taking off. And oh my gosh,
That was some trip.
Yeah,
I've been in space.
yeah,
Oh.
he's spacey.
Uh,
I think it looks like we're getting kind of close to the time. So we'll.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, and we're gonna. You know why? Because the next story is a story that's going to take a few minutes to tell. So we're going to hold that off until next week, and we're getting closer and closer to our trip. I can't wait. We're going to be on the road very, very soon. And I'm looking forward to that very much. So we'll be taking you along with us, but that's a few weeks away. And we will be telling you about what it's like to pack for a motorcycle trip, how to get ready for a motorcycle trip, and how to take a motorcycle trip. And we hope you're going to enjoy that. We have some fun stuff coming up. So what?
Well, we do it by motorcycle, but the places we go are open to everyone. You don't have to ride a motorcycle.
Right.
Of course, we like when you do.
When you do, yeah.
It's more exciting.
It is more fun.
You look up, there's no roof above you. You could see better, and
And you get all that fresh
Well,
air.
it's thrilling. And you know what the best time is? Like spring, things are starting to bloom. You could actually smell things as you're riding by. Like I like when we're down south and we go past the magnolia trees.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
I know, it's
It's
beautiful.
great.
I have a song called Put Me on My Motorcycle, and it talks about that you just kind of become everything that you ride through. You just feel like you're part of it, the forest, and get all the great aromas that you don't get in a car. It's definitely a different experience. The last trip we had to do in the car because it was too icy, but we're looking forward to taking the bikes out. And we will finish up Long Island next week. Huh?
he,
What?
no,
You nudged me.
no.
Usually when
I
you
did
nudge me, you have
not.
something to tell me. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Have
me,
a
tell ya.
great week. We will see you next week. And remember, it's never too late to follow your dreams. Try something new or have some fun. God bless. See you next week.
There was a dream, such a dream, just a staring at me, the stage on which I will be singing my songs. Yes, I know